In the aftermath of the fall of the Western Roman Empire, when cities lay in ruin, bandits roamed the roads, and fear shadowed daily life, one man rose, not through ambition, but through humility and duty. He was a monk who longed for silence, yet was called to guide the whole church. He was a pope who ruled not with power, but with pastoral wisdom and deep compassion. He was a teacher of souls, a diplomat, and a shepherd in a time of chaos. This is the life of Saint Gregory the Great, a man who taught the church how to lead with holiness, humility, and love. Gregory was born around the year 540 in Rome, into a noble and wealthy Christian family. His parents raised him in deep faith, and he received the finest education available, studying civil law, rhetoric, and public administration. His brilliance led him to serve as prefect of Rome, one of the highest civil offices of the time, responsible for maintaining order, overseeing the city's administration, and managing public affairs. Yet worldly success did not satisfy his soul. After his father's death, Gregory renounced his wealth, turned his family estate into a monastery, and embraced the quiet life of prayer, study, and ascetic discipline. For several years, he devoted himself entirely to God, copying sacred texts, caring for the poor, and guiding fellow monks with wisdom and charity. Gregory's desire for solitude did not last. His holiness and insight drew attention, and he was sent as papal ambassador, Apocrisiarius, to Constantinople, liaising with the Byzantine court. In 590, amid plague, famine, and political chaos in Rome, Gregory was elected pope. He resisted the office, considering himself unworthy, yet accepted it in obedience to God's call. As pope, he humbly referred to himself as servant of the servants of God, setting a lasting example of leadership rooted not in power, but in service. Gregory led the church during a time of suffering, instability, and moral confusion. He organized relief for the poor, negotiated peace with invading Lombards, reformed clergy discipline, and strengthened missionary efforts, most famously sending St. Augustine of Canterbury to evangelize the Anglo-Saxons in England. He also communicated tirelessly through letters and writings, providing guidance to bishops, monks, and lay people across Christendom. His greatest legacy lies in his writings, particularly the Pastoral Rule, a masterpiece on spiritual leadership. In it, Gregory warned that authority without holiness destroys both the shepherd and the flock, and he emphasized that a true leader must combine wisdom, humility, and love. Through his words, St. Gregory captured timeless truths about holiness, leadership, and love, lessons that continue to guide the Church today. Often the vices assume the appearance of virtues. The proof of love is in works. Where love exists, it works great things. no one does more harm in the church than he who has the title or rank of holiness and acts perversely. A pastor must first be purified in life and humbled in spirit before guiding the souls of others. When his conduct contradicts his teaching, he wounds the flock more by the example of his life than he can ever heal by the authority of his office. Saint Gregory the Great teaches us that true virtue is lived, not only spoken. May these lessons guide our hearts and actions today. Saint Gregory died in 604, leaving a church strengthened by humility, discipline, and compassion. He was recognized as a saint by the faithful soon after his death, a practice known as canonization pre-congregation. Centuries later, in 1295, Pope Boniface VIII proclaimed him a doctor of the Church, honoring the lasting influence of his writings, his pastoral guidance, and his model of Christian leadership. His life reminds us that true authority comes from service. True wisdom flows from love of God, and lasting change is nurtured by prayer, sacrifice, and care for souls. Saint Gregory the Great was blessed with divine visions, inspired the heavenly music of Gregorian chant, and guided Rome through famine and plague. Even after his death, countless people experienced healing and protection through his intercession. His life shows that holiness works miracles, not only through extraordinary deeds, but through prayer, charity, and faithful guidance. In an age of confusion and fear, Saint Gregory the Great teaches us that holiness is not escape from the world, but faithful service within it, guided by truth, strengthened by humility, and sustained by love. Saint Gregory the Great stands as a model of pastoral wisdom, humility, and faithful service. In a time of political collapse and spiritual uncertainty, he guided the church not by force, but by holiness and love. His life reminds us that true leadership is born from prayer, shaped by sacrifice, and proven through service to others.